welcome to the Magnate, where we bring eminent and interesting personalities who have strong impact towards economic growth and development of the country. Today we have an interesting magnate in our midst. He's versatile in business and has interest in other businesses. He's a stockbroker and a lawyer. So let's find out who our magnate is for the week. Over to you, Ibrahim.
Gregory Otsu, the Chief Executive Officer at MACT Group, Ventures Capital and Private Equity. A barrister at law, University of Lagos, chartered stockbroker and an associate member of the Chartered Institute of Stockbroker. He has a wealth of experience in financial investment, legal practice, oil exploration and drilling, and in the telecommunications industry. With over 16 years in corporate business management, he is responsible for the firm's strategic business policies and provide corporate leadership for the company in a manner that ensures that its physical policies and focuses are consistently achieved. He believes in the potential of its represented professionals and the growing performance of the firm. A two-time Rotary president, a stockbroker par excellence. To dig deep into the business acumen of our magnate for this week, we hand you over to the chat segment. To me is the Chief Executive Officer of MACT Group, Mr. Gregory Otsu. Thank you very much for liking our concern.
Thank you.
What's our MACT Group? What's it all about?
MACT Group is the head of the group of companies that is housing about 5 companies. MACT Securities, MACT Consult, MACT Properties, MACT Energy, and MACT Solutions. We have various subsidiaries that do various aspects of our transaction businesses. MACT Group is a holding company that have all these subsidiaries under it.
You mentioned stockbroking now. People don't understand what stockbroking is. Because some people think it's probably network marketing and the like, because some people feel like they can't put their money in an imaginary something, rather buy landed asset. What is stockbroking?
Going back to elementary economics and business studies, you know that the formation of a company is based on artificial being. In law, we will say artificial being because a company is alive, it's like a human being. Stockbrokers are trained to manage investments and also portfolio for their clients. The idea of stockbroking is just like the idea of being a banker or being a lawyer. You are trained specifically to advise investors on what to buy in the capital market. The essential of the capital market itself is to create an avenue for people that want to invest their money, that don't want to leave their monies idle, to have a vehicle to invest in and they earn dividends and price appreciation. So basically, what the stockbrokers are meant to be doing is to advise on areas to invest and when to cash out. There are people that have this thing, serious empathy for investment in securities. Securities are shares. The other was stock and securities are the same thing. They are shares that are tradable on the floor. So some people are most adverse to keeping their money for a long time. They can enter for a short time and come out. The essence of everything is profit, to take profit from whatever you are investing in. And the stockbroker's duty is to advise you, to guide you towards what to invest in as a professional.
Yeah, so you've been hammering on advice. How easy is it to advise someone to put their money into the stock market? How easy is it for you or your company?
I've seen it from a narrow perspective. For the past 2 administrations, Goodluck Jonathan's government and Buhari administration, they are practicing what their stockbrokers and financial advisors have advised them on. You discover that they'll be going to borrow from offshore. They've done Euro bonds, they've gone to China to borrow monies and all that. All is the work of the financial advisor. And instead of having to look inward when you don't have money to do your project, you get what I'm saying? You approach your financial advisor. I have to also projection and these manifestos, and I want to achieve them. The monies that are coming from FRA, the money that are coming from oil and gas industry and all that, or NNPC, are not enough for me to meet my projection for now. So the stockbroker, the financial advisor will say, there are windows out there. Why don't you go and borrow? When this money comes, you can repay them. So they charge interest on the money that federal government borrows or state borrow money to do infrastructure. So basically, that's the work of a stockbroker. It's not just the trading on the floor. It's beyond that. So even you that is planning for your children, the future of your children, you can decide. That is what most of the Westerners do in this part of most Yoruba people. You see, before they even give birth to their kids, they have planned.
The stock market fell in 2008. How easy since then, advising people to come back? Yeah, you can bring your money back to the stock market, or how does it affect you as a stockbroking firm?
From a historical perspective, the market always have a crash after some 20, 30 years. You know what I'm saying? Just like in other sectors too. You have at times you see the glut in the capital in the property market. You know what I'm saying? Everything depends on the forces of demand and supply. But be that as it may, the crash was as a result of the world global crash, the economy. And that crash affected generally both the American system, the European system, and we saw it coming. You know what I'm saying? Some people also exited before the crash.
So your company saw it coming before you were able to advise?
Well, we advised our clients that there may be probably kind of adjustment and readjustment. The capital market has various sectors. In the trading platform, they have the industrial sector, they have the goods and services, they have energy sector, they have various sectors. So if in energy sector, the prices in the world market, you will expect it to affect the position in every other sector that it has to do. And if the prices affect the buying and selling of oil and gas, it will affect the same man or the same country that owns the resources. So it's a chain link. If you remember the Great Subprime, right? The government before Obama were very much concerned about their ego. America went to Iraq or this thing there, so they spent a lot of money fighting those wars, and that invariably impaired on the spending power of American government. And you know they are one of the biggest economy in the world. That dovetail into the third world countries and all that. So if there is no money to spend, let me use the layman's word. Yeah. So if the buying power is not there, you go after it will affect the chain of supplies, and that was what happened in the Great Crash. And but not if you had bought like Nigeria breweries, or you have bought like Cadbury, these are daily consumption, whatever. You discover that no matter what happens, Nigeria brewery shares hardly come down, because the people in good time they are celebrating, in bad times they are celebrating. So even out of frustration, people go out to drink beer or drink Coca-Cola or whatever. It's not the same thing with an insurance company that is selling informed listing policies. I can decide not to insure my car. I will have a third party. I can decide not to do a comprehensive insurance. So I can decide also not to insure my life. I say I won't die for now, at least. Let me survive. Let me pay my children's school fees. So it's different from a company that is into brewery. So yes. So if I decide to say I'm advising my client to leave a particular sector, to put money in a particular sector, it's because of what I have foreseen. There are some sectors that will never go down. You won't tell me that no matter what, if you have a Eco-Disco quote on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange, you must still use light. So the gains are constant. You go and so those are the things that stockbrokers look at.
How did the great fall of 2008, how did it affect the company?
It was a global thing, and what we do in the capital market is, as a regulated company, you are expected to meet a capitalization of certain amount, for you to be able to practice. And better part of your capitalization is supposed to be in either cash assets or near cash assets, and cash assets of stock that you held as your capitalized assets would definitely be affected by the turn of the event in the market. So we were holding also some shares that we believe that were our capital assets. So the shares were greatly affected. So the prices, as the prices drop, your capitalization will definitely have to drop. You have to look for other forms of means to show up your capital. That's basically it.
So moving back now to your company, how many years have you been established for, and how do you think your company has grown over the years?
We started with MACT Securities. MACT Securities was registered in 1995, We came in 96, 97. We felt there was a need after the capital market was greatly affected. We felt there was a need for us to diversify. That was why we have to register MACT Consult. The security is strictly for trading of shares on the floor of the Nigeria Stock Exchange and also for management of portfolios. So MACT Consult was registered because we needed to do render other financial services and also infrastructural advisory, which we believe would greatly help in the growth of the economy. Yeah, and also we have MACT properties. We went into some property development, through MACT properties, we were able to acquire this property, and one across the road that we partnered with an investor, and so we acquired some properties that we know that no matter what happens in the capital market, we will have fixed assets that we always grow. As you know, market properties are always appreciated. So no matter what, if you have your property in a good area, you would always expect that it will appreciate and give you a good value. So we had to balance out. We also had to register MACT Energy for us to do advisory in the oil and gas sector. We have been doing that, and also MACT Solutions. Yeah. So those are the additional 5 areas we went into, and that was what has been surviving us.
Thank you very much, sir. So before I ask you the next question, young entrepreneurs coming up next. Stay tuned. Magnate continues.
Hello, welcome. This is the Magnate, where we bring eminent and interesting personality who has strong impact towards economic growth and development in the country. We have an entrepreneur. She is a Magnate. Let's meet her. Please, ma, can you tell us your name?
My name is Arigbabu Olajumoke Keoluwa.
Okay, so how long have you been into this? Is catering? How long have you been into it?
Okay, well, let's say from when we were very little, my mom had always done catering, so I would say that practically from childhood I've been into catering. For business purpose, let's say 2009, I've done catering professionally from 2009. I've always had passion for, catering, and I started to bear my children, nobody to look after them, so considering all of that, and I also felt like I could do passion. A lot of people called me to do things for them, and I did catering free of charge. So I thought, oh wow, I can actually make money from it. So after leaving my job, I just went ahead to do catering.
What was the drive that pushed you to do it?
Well, I have passion. It's something I've always had passion for, and I felt leaving the job, raising my children, I needed something that would give me a little bit of time while the children grow.
Okay, was there any point where you felt like you need to drop it, like maybe there was challenge?
No, well, I've never really had time, I've never really had challenges with saying I want to drop the business. It's my passion. It's something I do at home for people, But of course, every business has its own challenges. When catering is not, getting there. You start out. People trying to. You have a lot of people cooking because they feel food business is 100% profits and all of that, So, but I've never really said I want to drop it at any point. But of course, I've gone through my own fair challenges where you make your mistakes. You have to learn, relearn, all the time. So I don't know it all, and I'm still learning.
Welcome back. If you're just joining us, this is still the Magnate, where we bring entrepreneurs of great influence. With me here is Mr. Gregory Otsu. He is the CEO of MACT Group. Thank you for still staying with us, sir. So before we went to that break, we were talking about the challenges you faced, and you had to establish about 4 other subsidiaries of MACT Group. So as a consultant, as a MACT Group consultant, how do you advise young entrepreneurs who are going through any challenge relating to their business?
First thing that you may have to look at is it's not over, it is over, and it's never over if you have the willpower and you are coming from the right source of approach. And for us, we have various interests that we represent. We have been able to, over the years, make friends with some of our leaders. We've been able to make friends with some of our politicians. We've been able to make friends with great entrepreneurs. So this has been a quality that has endeared us to where we are today. We try as much as possible to invest in content. When you're growing up you should be at the right places. I should ensure that you mix with the right people. It's very, very important, because you can't stay in your bedroom or stay in your cocoon and expect miracles or this thing to happen. If people see that you are making effort, they will definitely lay their weight on you and to help you to grow, no matter how bad the situation is. So if you are in school, first of all, you have to learn to join the necessary groups, play as much as possible the little politics in your community, in your department, in school, and when you are out of school, also try to ensure that you don't stay in a recluse. Ensure that you belong to various, at least of social groups, like I'm a Rotarian. I've been president of Rotary twice. I was a president in 2005 and 2017 or thereabout. My club said I should please come and revive the club again because it was going down. I brought in young bloods and all that. What I'm just trying to say is that you just have to keep going. At some point in my life that I have not been studying one thing or the other, even though when I came out from school, my uncle insisted I have to practice what I learned. I was practiced law for about a year or two, and I went into writing my stockbroking exams. I passed, went into stockbroking. As I was doing my stockbroking, I went into Lagos Business School. I was doing my chief executive program from Lagos Business School. I went to ESA, Spain, to do my business masters in business administration. When I left there, I was in University of London for my masters in law, and I'm right now also doing my PhD. At every point in time that you make efforts to go do a new thing, you must meet somebody somewhere that will be relevant in your life. That is the sustaining power. And as you are meeting people, those people are invaluable assets to you. And that is what I would tell anybody: never you give up. Don't sit in one place for too long. And there is a word, like Johnny Walker will say, keep working. If I do anything for 5 years, I become bored. I look for the alternative. I'm always very, very up. I don't believe I have to go and meet an uncle. I have to meet. Once I'm doing anything that I'm doing consistently for 5 years, there are a lot of schools, there are a lot of programs you can go online, and you will know from there you meet people. For the young ones, you don't have to keep your eggs in one basket. It doesn't work. And that is it. That is why I have made it a cardinal principle. I tell my nieces and nephews, whatever you are doing, add additional qualification to your whatever you had. My son, in school, I go to his school almost every now and then. I ensure that I tell the teachers, let him belong to social debate and let him belong. Some people went to school with Obama. They are not the same today. You never can tell. Some people went to school with Buhari. They are not the same today. So you must meet somebody somewhere that will add to your life. And you cannot stay in one place to do that. So that is why we have to go out of our cocoon to register other companies. That was into oil and gas. By that, I started meeting people in oil and gas. And anyhow you make money, so long as it's genuine money, the color is the same. If you change naira to dollar, it becomes this thing, a negotiable instrument, and to pounds, the same thing.
So what advice do you give a young entrepreneur who is trying to raise capital for his business?
Any folk can make money, money can come to anybody, but how do you sustain or retain or maintain? Where I was coming from, I just mentioned to you now, networking is important. You must not assume that you are so brilliant and you are in a position to jumpstart or to start your own business. Mentorship, you can't beat it. You get what I'm saying? No matter how tall you are, there are some stages that there are some distance the mountains you can't climb. You may have to need people to climb on. And that is what I will advise every young man or every young entrepreneur. Don't jump to start anything. Look for a mentor, if for nothing else. Money is not everything, but money is everything. If you have good mentors, don't jump to go and start a business.
So having all this your schedule, you're a lawyer, you studied law, you are doing a PhD, you are being a CEO, you are being a father. How do you cope? How do you relax, and how do you merge everything together and still enjoy your time?
Life is about give and take. You get what I'm saying? if I'm interested in you, I believe you should also be interested in me, you know. So it goes beyond just seeing each other every day. I should even be interested in your welfare, your family, and all that. So that is all. But be that as it may, I love my people a lot. Most of my friends are from my place. We try as much as possible to contribute to what we do in Edo State. I'm from Edo State. And we try as much as possible to contribute to the economy in our state. So we try as much as possible to go home as necessary as possible. So I'm a member of our great club, Esaka Club 81. I'm a member of Ikoyi Club, a Rotarian since 1995, my youth service. I've been in Rotary, and also I'm a member of board of directors in the UK. Also have other area of interest that try as much as possible, belong to social clubs and all that, and that we interact, we see. I love mingling with intelligent people and people who can impart on me the way I impart on them, and we can find a common ground for us to meet. As for my family, I have a woman that is very amiable. She doesn't disturb me. I recall when I was looking for a wife, I told God, please, I know the kind of person I am. I can jump from one place to the other. Give me a quiet woman, and God gave me. So that is it. My wife doesn't disturb me. So once so long she knows where I am, I'm fine. And that has been a very good source of happiness. It's not that somebody will think that I'm somewhere doing things that is not here. But as long as you get results, no matter what you do, remember to look back. Don't neglect your family. Give them the best, even before you eat, ensure they eat.
MACT, is it a name or an acronym, or how did you come about the name of your company, MACT Group? Is it an acronym?
It's an acronym, and we actually came in to join my late chairman, Mr. Michael Sabaigbe. He's also from, he's late now, from my state. He was looking for good partners and people we could work with, and we were introduced to him, and after then we have not stopped. So we already have the name Magnate. It was Magnate's Trust and Securities. I think when he was forming the company, he had the name in mind, which each letter alphabet representing, I can't recall what they are now, but when I came in, I said the name was quite long. It sounds like a Chinese name. Let me reduce and the board approved. So bring it down to remove some alphabet and to make it MACT. Yeah.
Do you have any final word for people watching us? Probably someone who just started a business, someone who already has a business, or someone who has an established business. What is your final word for our audience?
Nigerians are very industrious. We don't need anything from these politicians outside the enabling environment they need to create. From where I'm from, we have all sorts of minerals, to gold. Edo North is full of serious, very, very serious minerals deposit. And we also have enabling environment. We have a peaceful place. And so I would say most of the other area I know in Edo State, I'm speaking of Edo because that is where I'm from. If you create enabling environment, a lot of investors will come into this country to turn around the economy. We don't need to escape this country. All we are begging, let the right policies be put in place so Nigerians can enjoy what they are doing or what they want to do. And the sky will be more than the limit for everybody.
For the Nigerian economy to keep thriving, we need a conducive environment for our business to grow. Over to you, Honor.
Thank you, our lovely guests, Mr. Greg Otsu and Ibrahim, for taking us through that lovely segment. I really learned a lot, and I'm sure you also did. Don't forget to join us next time on our lovely program, The Magnate. As I drop you with the quote of the week, the road to success and the road to failure are almost exactly the same. Choose wisely. Bye.